and move on and talk about the Georgia Tech game. Of course, they're playing in Atlanta this weekend. Bobby Dodd. Strangely, Clemson's not super successful at Georgia Tech. A lot of people forget that we've done a lot of losing there. I don't see that happening this weekend. The game is going to be at noon. Is it going to be an ACC network game?
I think it is. Clemson, I hate playing in the stadium.
It's ABC. Wow, they care.
That's the ABC game.
Wow. Maybe it was because Georgia Tech did so well this past week.
Clemson's poll is just unreal.
Yeah. But again, that's one of those places where we've had a lot of bad luck. You got to go back to 2014. Sean getting hurt, Cole Stout being checked out and having no idea.
Schuessler should have come in that
game.
game.
2 touchdown passes to the other team.
Schuessler should have come in that game earlier.
Schuessler should have done it. We've had championship games down there. Josh Nesbitt, I know everybody remembers that. And then just the Paul Johnson era. Well, folks, Jeff Collins is not Paul Johnson. I don't even like Paul Johnson, but Jeff Collins still has a lot of work to do. But I'm excited about seeing Georgia Tech now because they seem resurgent. They seem like they got confidence behind them.
And, I'm just personally thankful. I've been outspoken to this on this show multiple times. I don't have to watch the triple option this weekend.
We don't have to. We were done.
Praise
After
the
Citadel,
Lord.
We're done.
Yeah,
I don't know that we see it again until we play Citadel again.
We don't have to see the triple option. That thrills me. Georgia Tech's actually going to be playing some real football this weekend, so that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, well, is it?
Yeah. And Sims has been good. He's dual threat. Georgia Tech will score some points. I think.
Will they?
Yeah, I think.
Do you think Georgia Tech's offense is better than Miami's?
I don't think they get 20, but I think the fact that they're at home, I think they're going to have fans. Okay. I don't know if it's going to be fully packed. But
I already said no. I don't think they have any fans.
They don't have any fans.
I think they're pumping sounds.
They're pumping sounds.
But here's the thing: you take away that last touchdown for Miami because of a third-string defensive end who dropped to contain. Miami's offense scores 0 points. 0. So I don't know that I'm going to say that Georgia Tech could score definitively more than Miami could. Now, again, I'm not trying to be orange-colored glasses. I understand that you're not going to have that kind of production. You're not going to skunk everybody. I get that. And for all Clemson fans, this is exactly what we were talking about. When we played Virginia, everybody was saying we played so bad. We literally beat them by 18 points, and they only scored 24. It's not that big a deal.
And that 24 was
low when you look at the SEC
15 seconds
scores.
Left in the game.
And 24 is low when you look at the SECs.
Yeah.
So it's one of those deals where I don't know that I care as much. I'll say this. I agree with you. Jeff Sims looking much better. I thought that it was the best move for them to go with the young guy because what you're going to do is if he's your future, he's a 4-star guy. You stole him away from Florida State, which doesn't seem so hard now, but you stole him away from Florida State. You get him in there now. You know you're not going to be a good team, but they're 2-2. They're better than Duke.
We both predicted them to be the worst team in the ACC before the season because, new offense. Jeff Sims he wasn't touted as a quarterback per se. He's dual threat.
No, he was
good. He can throw it, but
he just wasn't.
He's a super talented runner.
Right. When he came to Georgia Tech, when he
was a runner
to Georgia Tech,
first.
we didn't know what Georgia Tech was going to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys remember this. When Jeff Sims committed to Florida State, he was going to go there because Willie Taggart was there. Willie Taggart gets fired. Actually, it was more of Walt Bell's fault. Walt Bell was an idiot. You get Kendall Briles, and he gets fired, so he's going to go to Georgia Tech. But we didn't know what Georgia Tech was going to do because they were so wishy-washy last year. Remember, they came out last year with Tobias Oliver at quarterback against Clemson game 1, and they were still running the option from the shotgun. So we were like, what is Georgia Tech? But then later in the season, they started playing James Graham, who we all thought was going to be the starter this year.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He was throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Now you have Jeff Sims, and we're like, okay, we know what they're going to do. I feel like they have an idea what they're going to do, and they're going to be a little bit better at executing it. I still don't think they're a great football team, and I don't want to look at what happened against Louisville and think, oh, man,
they're not good by any means, but the fact that there's still not a ton of tape on this spread system. We've only got 4 games.
Yeah, there is. We watched Temple. We know what Jeff Collins is going to do. We watched him at Temple. We watched him try to implement it. They still don't have that good of skill players. I do like their running back group, but it's Georgia Tech. That's all they had but at one point was running backs. I still don't like their offensive line. I think they're going to get manhandled by Clemson's D-line.
I agree with that part of it.
Jeff Sims is still a young quarterback, and we're seeing that we're getting a lot of coverage sacks. If De'Aaron King, a seasoned fifth-year quarterback, couldn't find anybody open, good luck to Jeff Sims. So I feel like the only saving grace for Georgia Tech in this game is that they might actually give Clemson offense a little bit of a they have 6 returning starters. Their secondary is all their guys are good. Of course, we saw last year Trey Swilling, those guys baiting Trevor Lawrence, and everybody's going, what's going on here? But I feel like they might be able to give Clemson an interesting game for a couple of drives, maybe even the first quarter and a half.
Yeah. I still think Clemson wins in blowout fashion.
I think
I do think that Georgia Tech will do a better job of feasting on the backups though than Miami.
I do too. I think Georgia Tech's physicality, because again, I don't know that Miami's very physical. And that's a strange thing to say, but I don't know that Miami's a very physical team. Whereas we know Georgia Tech's going to lay the hammer every time they hit you. They have that 3-3-5 look. They're going to come at you. They're going to be aggressive, but they're also going to play combo coverages. We talk about this a lot. One side will be in a different coverage than the other side, so Trevor's got to be smart about it. This is why he got baited so bad last year, and everybody's going, what the heck's wrong with Trevor Lawrence? This is year 2 going against, 3 technically, going against that same defense. They've seen you enough now. So it's one of those deals where Trevor got baited in the game against Quincy Roche and against Miami. He literally dropped in coverage and had an interception. They were offsides because he was literally hanging out right beside Jackson Carman. But then also, he dropped the interception. But we want to make sure that Trevor's he's here.
Yeah.
Everything that I've seen so far,
it would indicate that he is. Yeah. And I think that Trevor's going to come in and he's going to have sort of a revenge game to an extent against Georgia Tech. I mean, you got to think lingering in the back of his head, he's threw those picks last year against them, and he's going to want to go out there. And last year, beginning of the year was rough. He wasn't really playing for a Heisman.
Right.
Now he is the front runner for the Heisman.
Well, and then you also got to think about this too. We didn't use Travis Etienne the way we're using him this year. Obviously, folks, you see now people around the country are taking notice. Travis Etienne is also in the highest Heisman. He's one of the Heisman candidates now.
Yeah.
We're using him as a threat both in the running game and the passing game.
I would like to say that I think there's a chance that both Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne are at that ceremony.
They
as
will
finalists.
Absolutely be there.
Yeah.
It would be a travesty for Travis Etienne to not be there. Trevor's getting there. Trevor is going to get there. He's there. It would be a travesty if Travis Etienne didn't, because what he's doing now transcends what he's even done before. The kid has, I think, 4,380 or 830 yards, total yards for the ACC for Clemson. So he leads that. He has the most touchdowns. He has the most touchdowns in consecutive games.
And he's never even been to a ceremony.
The season.
Yeah, he's never even been to a ceremony.
The guy,
ridiculous.
He deserves it. And I think we're going to be able to exploit a lot of different things. Again, when you have 3-3-5, you're going to have a lot of different coverage guys out there. You're not going to be playing a whole lot of linebackers. Why not run the ball against Georgia Tech? So I think we're going to be able to do that. And plus, what I saw against Miami, sustaining drives. We were unbelievable at third down. If you do that every game, I think it was something like 30-something, 38-21 difference in time of possession.
And Clemson also, I wanted to say, they took some long drives in that game.
And
there were multiple drives pushing towards that 10-minute range. I mean, they disappeared the first half of that game with 2 drives.
Yeah.
At the time of possession, the plays at one point, I think Clemson had 28 plays to Miami's 6 in the first half.
In the first half. That's what we talked about this, man. We texted each other.
Yeah.
There was zero doubt in my mind that Clemson was going to win. I know a lot of fans were nervous because they were like, man, I don't want to talk about this until it's a big game. When you have a difference of a team being on the field that much more than the other, they can't get off the field. It doesn't matter what your offense does because your defense is gassed. There's zero chance that Clemson's offense, as good as it is, could be stopped by Miami's defense that night. They were on the field way too much.
I agree.
So what's a realistic ballpark? Folks, if you're out there listening, give us your opinion. What's your score prediction? What is the over-under? The over-under is 64 in this game, and the spread right now
I'm guessing in the 20s?
27.
Wow, that is, wow.
27.
That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. Well, we had 28 actually, no, it went to 14.
Yeah.
It was 14 for Miami.
It was 14 for Miami. If I had to just throw a number out there, I'm gonna say 51-14.
I was gonna say 56-13.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think that too is that we're obviously gonna get overmatched special teams in this game.
Well, when do we not?
But for sure, it's going to be blatantly obvious this time. Presley Harvin, the big chunker man from South Carolina, that guy he has a monster leg. And it's not that he can just kick very far. It's the hang time. We're going to be putting a lot of Clemson's going to have to do a lot of long drives because the guy does not outkick his coverage. He is one of the best punters I've ever seen in my life. I don't know where this guy came from. He's from South Carolina. Why didn't we get him? But at the same time, it's like, don't remind me of that. But look, hey, no, hats off to Will Spires. He's been playing great.
No, and he's
outside
been doing
block kicks.
And he was kind of doing more of a rugby style because of the weather this weekend, and he was getting some good rolls on that. So credit to Will.
He really was. So Clemson's going to have to sustain some drives, but I would go 56-13. I think Clemson's going to try almost match that score of last season. I still think Clemson's going to win for sure.